Welcome to FRACKiT. This is WolfVS.
Rektolisk.
And today we are detailing video games.
Yep.
Go on.
Me?
What do you play? Which I
tend to play 8-bit games. I like board games.
You lying bastard.
No, I just play
He's never completed a game in his life.
I completed like 3 games.
He's a very weird person.
No, I play any game really.
Alright,
I don't claim though. Yeah, like you said.
We can start at the beginning. We've got a lot of gems from the 90s. We did a 90s show about gaming before.
Oh, okay.
We tend to gravitate towards either something that's got co-op in it, when we were younger.
Right.
Lord of the Rings.
The 90s?
Well, 90s, 2000s.
Oh, okay, Lord of the Rings games.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings games.
SmackDown.
Oh god, wrestling games.
Yeah, wrestling games. We usually play stuff, and then we have the fighting games. Our favourite was Dead or Alive.
Oh yeah.
Which I've just purchased number 5.
Nice.
And what else? Because when we were younger, I was into the RPGs, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil. I've said this a million times over. But he just got a bit... Oh, Rektolisk, whatever the fuck your name is. Sounds like a bad DC villain.
Yeah.
Has a different taste than me.
Yeah, when I was younger, I never had like a set genre to play. It was just like whatever game I had to play it. But when I got older, I was more aimed towards like fantasies, RPGs, some shooters, yeah. But I think adventure games are more my favourite.
Adventure games. So, list some of them.
Final Fantasies.
He's only ever cleared one.
Yeah, I've only fucking played one.
Yeah. Well, I like Final Fantasies, and as we know, I've done 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2, 12, 13, and 13 too, along with some of the side titles.
Yeah.
Now, AJ always wanted to get into Final Fantasies, but very much just listened to me explain what was happening and looked at the cutscenes a lot.
Yeah, I always watched him play.
You played 10, wasn't it?
Yeah, I cleared 10, I played it a few times over.
10's a cracking one.
I had a go at 8, but I got bored of it dead quick. I don't know why.
8's awesome. 8 is awesome.
I played a bit of 10. 10-2 with the girls, but I was a bit daft.
I like that one's awesome as well. But there's a weird thing about it, because you love your own little RPGs and World of Warcraft and bullshit like that. But the one thing I don't get is the fact that you love building characters and character grinding, but that's never translated really over onto console games with Final Fantasies. I've never seen you go from...
Well, I grind on the games, but I won't clear games, because I don't like when games end. So whereas online, you get a character, you level them up, and then there's no end. You just keep going and going.
I prefer it when games end. I like to have a nicely, neatly wrapped up story.
Yeah.
Beginning, middle, and then it ends. But the one thing about Final Fantasies is you have that little neat bit before the end where you can explore the world, and you know how I've done it. I get everyone up to the highest power fucking I can.
Yeah.
And then I'm owning, doing all the little side missions. I thought you'd be more into that side of it, but you never really got in. I've never seen you into that on consoles anyway.
It's also the multiplayer experience as well.
Oh, right.
Because you tend to get lonely on single player games. He's like, oh, look what I've got all this cool shit,
Well,
but you can't show it off.
I hate people, so I don't get that at all. I get annoyed with people. But yeah, I see what you mean with, oh, what's this dickhead going to do now?
Yeah.
So, you like your World of Warcraft?
Yes. I'm not playing in a while though, but on MMOs,
you seem to go through bouts. It's like a sickness.
Yeah.
It's like a very bad illness. You'll have 6 months where you're all about it, and then you're that shit, then you'll catch it again.
You always go back to the stuff you like.
Yeah, it's like chlamydia, it just keeps coming back. But yeah, it's weird, your gaming taste. So come on, this is your show, this is your gaming show.
My show?
Well, it's my fucking show, I'm the host, you can get out if you don't like that. But...
Oh, okay. So what do you want me to talk about? What?
Just talk about favourite games, just different things, and maybe stuff you want to get into.
Well, currently, I've been playing stuff like GTA and other online games like, what's the one called? I'm playing a game called Garry's Mod.
Yeah, Garry's Mod, we all know that.
Because I'm really into sandbox experiences. So I go with my mates from uni and we're just like, we'll go on a game. I'll just fuck about.
So have you played DayZ yet?
No, I've got Warzy, but it's fucking shit.
Warzy, that's bombed terribly.
Warzy's the clone. Which they totally fucked up, yeah.
Yeah, DayZ, I've seen videos and it looks like one of the few online games I'd actually want to play, because when I was watching people play, the first idea would be get 10 of yous, get all your mates about, and all go on it at once and just make it.
That's what a lot of people do. The only thing with that game is though, if you go on with your mates, you spend like 10 hours, you get loads of cool shit, you get killed, all your shit's gone.
Yeah, that's the great thing about it.
But then, like, in this War Z, it's the same thing, but in War Z, when I started playing, a stupid thing, so say, you make a character, you die, you gotta wait 5 hours till you spawn.
That's terrible.
It's fucking shit. But also, see, if you paid real money to get, like, better guns or, like, outfits, you die, you lose that as well. That's a fucking pain, that.
You wouldn't bother then.
I know, but, those games are full of hackers and shit at the moment. DayZ needs a lot more polish. It's a lot more buggy and stuff.
They have talked about doing a full-fledged release.
Well, they're working on the standalone version right now.
Yeah.
So it was meant to be out last year, but it should be out mid this year maybe.
That's pretty cool. I'll get it when it comes out on consoles. I'm not really one for PC.
Yeah.
But yeah, DayZ's one that's really impressed me. And let's go down another route, because we were talking about this a few weeks ago. Horror games like Slender and was it Asylum or Insomnia?
Amnesia.
Amnesia, yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
I love horror games, but I don't fucking play them. I watch people play them, but I can't sit down playing because I just
we'll download Slender in a minute and you can watch me play it.
Because I got Amnesia as like rated as like the most scariest game.
I've seen the footage, it is good.
And I started playing that like 10 minutes in. I stopped it. I've not played it in like a year. No, I couldn't play it. But I watched someone play it and I laughed my ass. I was like, oh, I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
But when you play it, it's just a totally different experience. It's like, no, fuck that.
Well, there's no game that really scares me, but...
Amnesia was scary.
Yeah. It was that watching that Slender in the atmosphere, fuck me, this is actually quite unnerving and quite fun.
Yeah, Slender does that well, because if you look at it, it's a really, like, low budget, like, bad graphics game, but they make up for it in the atmosphere and stuff.
Yeah. Resident Evil syndrome all over again. Yeah. Resident Evil at the best. It had the best setting, because even now, 10 years on, 1 and 3 can still shit you up.
Yeah, 1 always shits me up.
It just shits you up for one reason, because, say, in 3, the reason I did this, I haven't played it in a few months, but I remember the last time I played it, I found a new game mechanic that I'd never noticed before. When you fight Nemesis, say, in a random encounter, not in one of the set encounters, when he just appears randomly, if you run away from him, and the damage you do to him is applicable. So say if I shoot him twice and it takes another 5 bullets to kill him, then in the next fight it carries over. So instead of taking 10 bullets to kill him, it'll take however many he did in that first random encounter. Which I never fucking knew. It was a great little thing. Like, shit, I've shot him 5 times here and 5 times here and he's gone down there. It's really, really cool.
That's pretty cool.
But I also found out that another thing carries overs as well. Not just battle damage from random encounters. How many times he grabs you. If he grabs you 3 times, you die.
Yeah.
And unless you take him down at certain points, if you keep running and he, say, grabs you once, if you run through him 3 times and he grabs you once in each of those 3 encounters that are random, that carries on as well. That's what made me stop playing, because I got cornered, he just grabbed me, and I'm like, oh, I can get out of this, I'm like, shit. And then I worked out in my head, I fucking ran through him 3 times.
Man.
It's fucking great.
I was saying, that number 1 scares me, but number 3 never scares me, but that's only because I've played it so much. I'm used to it. I'm just like, run through it, whatever, but in number 1, because I don't know what the fuck's going on, I don't know what the level layouts, I'm like, fucking hell, where's this going, who the fuck's here?
I have an encyclopedic knowledge of the first one. I've cleared it in 45 minutes on the DS version.
God.
I can blitz through that, and anytime like I said, I've got them all, anytime you want to do a Resident Evil day, we'll do it and we'll clear a couple of them. Like 5. For one thing we haven't really brought over, obviously we've been uni and all that box, is the modern era games. Like I mentioned, Dead or Alive 5. That's a fucking cracking one for us to play. Remember the tag team on that? That used to be the tag team when we used to play it.
Yeah.
That was awesome. We should fucking carry that over, because a few really good. There should be some good multiplayer. I know Borderlands is quite good.
Yeah, I've got Borderlands.
Borderlands is supposed to be fun. I'm just trying to think of a really good co-op, because co-ops are all the rage nowadays.
Yeah. It's a totally different gaming experience.
Yeah. Especially online.
Trying to think of good co-op games. Borderlands is like the main one at the moment. I'll say Garry's Mod is good. It's just in an empty world, you just make your own world.
I remember the first time we played Counter-Strike when we had 2 computers and you kept blasting Pokemon down the fucking team radio.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was awesome. That was a long time ago. Jesus.
Yeah, that was a good few years ago.
Minecraft and all that's massive.
No, that's not a game for me. If I want to go mine somewhere, I'll do it myself.
I'm trying to think. There's loads. Counter-Strike, Team Fortress games.
Counter-Strike and Team Fortress were two of our favourites. They were just fun. But I've never really been a PC gamer. I'm not one like you who... We are currently sat with a fucking sentient machine sat next to us with literally the red Terminator glowing light staring at me.
Yeah, the Dead Space mask.
Yeah. It is. It's gonna one day... Is that... How much have you spent on computers for your gaming?
Oh god, no. That one was £1,400.
Yeah. This one. And he spent a lot more before that because he's always say because he knows I'm not really interested. I don't really know much about how computers are made. I just got a new graphics fucking whatever for £700 or some bullshit like that. It's like I just bought a PlayStation for £400. That does me fine.
That's more attuned to like what you do in your machine, I suppose.
Yeah.
But you play by yours or do like 3D and level design stuff like that. So
you piss about.
Yeah.
What was that as well? There's one aspect. We'll go more into PC gaming because it's your area.
Okay, look.
One aspect of PC gaming that I've always wanted to get into, but obviously I haven't got the power to do it. I haven't got a fucking good PC. I've got a shit laptop, and I might even buy a PC in a few months. But is the modding aspect?
Yeah.
Because I've seen mods of Resident Evil 5, which I absolutely love. I know guys that create their own stories, like the story mode of Resident Evil 5. There's one I've watched on YouTube, which is amazing, and it's all voice acted by someone else. None of the, other than Wesker, none of the characters' voices are in it. And it's the story of Resident Evil 5 if Jill was in it instead of Cheryl.
Right,
and it's fucking cool, great. Yeah. It's a great little how you can create stuff with it. And there's also the Mercenaries, where they have all chainsaws and all executioners as your enemies. Stuff like that.
Modding, it's a totally different world because you can take a game, you can do whatever you want with it as long as you've got the knowledge and like the team. A massive thing people do at the moment is like even like Pokemon games. There's a massive like market line for like hacked games. So like they make a game called Pokemon Purple. It's a totally full game they've made, but it's like people pay as well. And also there's people actually making like SNES games and stuff still releasing them. But for like the more modern games, you have like Skyrim and stuff like they release their creation kits. You can make your own maps and stories and quests. You said Resident Evil, like games that aren't like ones that don't release stuff, but people just get into the code and do whatever they want.
Yeah,
really good. It's like meeting a month for my uni project. We're just working with like Unreal Tournament, so we're making our game using that. But it makes it a lot more fun, like I said. But it's learning.
I know. Was it Minecraft was released on the 360 and bombed terribly?
Oh no, Minecraft's great. It's outsold the PC version.
Did it?
Yeah.
I thought it bombed terribly because of the creation aspect. That's the one thing I've heard a lot more. Because on the PC, you can basically do anything on Minecraft.
Well, it's all texture packs and mods, yeah. But I'm not sure if you can get one on the Xbox version. Not looked.
But yeah, I do know a lot of people. I've heard a lot of bullshit about the Minecraft 360 version.
Right.
But anyways, modding's one thing I always wanted to do, just because I'd like to piss about my favourite games.
Yeah.
Any good mods that you like? That you can name, obviously.
Well, Minecraft, I play a mod called FRACKiT, which is like a massive revamp. So Minecraft, basically, you make blocks like wood and shit, whatever, like a few things. But FRACKiT has machines, and it involves like maths and trigonometry and all stupid shit to learn. So you can make calculators, you can make computers and stuff. But if you know what you're doing, you can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get other mods I've got. Skyrim, I've got mods for just basic like HD texture packs people make, and custom weapons. They're pretty fun to mess with.
Yeah, I've seen lightsabers in Skyrim. That's quite fun.
Yeah. Other games I mostly get like different maps, levels.
Was it Left 4 Dead 1 where we? Was it Left 4 Dead? Where we had that one where we're in the farmhouse and it's just literally you go till you drop the survival thing.
I can't remember. I know it's got survival on it, yeah.
Yeah.
But most of the thing at the moment it's all texture packs and levels and stuff. They're what I'm more attuned to.
Well, mate, like I said, I've always wanted to get into it, but I think I'd be a bit too daft to do it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd like to have some fun with it.
It's just time learning. Well, you probably, I don't know what you do. You probably like to do voice acting, which is simple to record your bumps in game.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to do that, but I'd also like, say with Resident Evil 5, if I got Resident Evil 5 and could piss about with it as much as I wanted to, I'd make my own story from it.
Right.
And that's kind of the aspect I like to go like, oh yeah, quick example, WE12 has a great little story mode creator, and it's just like all the other ones, but the problem with it is there's no personality to it, it's all just recycled scenes. But with Resident Evil the one I watched, the Resident Evil 5, he really made a different game out of the fucking cutscenes as well as the gameplay. Like,
what did he use? Was it all stuff that's in the game that he's just used, or did he make it all himself?
Pissed it all about. It's just a game. The only thing that he changed, obviously, it'd be like, was it the texture pack for Sheva or some bullshit like that? He made Jill as Sheva.
Right. Is it all the same script and maps and stuff like that?
Yeah, mostly, but it was kind of changed around. Like, certain things that happened at different points.
Right.
Like, the execution battle wasn't at the start.
Right.
And things were longer. It was really well done.
That's just like, that'll be our code, that, like, changing when each level loads and stuff like that.
Ah.
So it's got the game, because like the game of like your cutscene next level, each one like, okay, I'll put that level there, then I'll put a cutscene there, then I'll change this and that, yeah.
And it's also, like I said, changing things within the cutscene, like the characters. Like, Sheva wasn't in it at all.
Right, yeah, okay.
Quite cool.
That's cool. So,
Well, next, any other gaming experiences?
trying to think.
Because I'll say, go.
At the moment, I'm just pissing about games.
Pissing about.
I can't sit down and just fucking play a game beginning to end. I did like a few months ago, but that's it.
What did you do?
I played a game called Singularity. It's not a massive game, but
I don't know what the fuck it's about.
It's like you have a device in your hand and that controls time, but you control objects.
I've got one you click Portal. You hammered that.
Oh yeah, that's because it's Source. It's Valve.
Yeah, he likes his
Valve fanboy, man. I've cleared the Half-Life series. What my best gaming series ever. Cleared all the episodes. Yeah, played them like loads of times over. It's just such an easy game to play for me. I'm so used to it.
Yeah, I remember fucking back in the day when was it? I'm not sure if it was Team Fortress account. I think it must have been Team Fortress. The daft maps you used to get for it, the challenge maps.
Oh yeah, I still play them. The
Yeah.
Team Fortress Classic, the skill maps. Like you can shoot the floor and you rocket jump, but these are like parts in the level where if you hit the floor, it sends you back to the beginning of that jump. So you have to like shoot in different areas to make sure you get through it.
Okay.
They were daft maps, but when you get good and you apply that in game, people are like, "What the fuck's he doing there?"
Yeah.
They were really good, yeah.
Well, with me, I've recently, like I said, I haven't had much time for gaming. I've bought Dead or Alive 5. I've played it for 2 hours.
Jesus.
That's it. I did Tina's arcade mode.
I know you do it.
It's fucking easy. It's got a great new move as well. There's in-air grabs now.
Oh, right, okay.
So, I'm not sure how the fuck I did it, but I kind of juggled her. I fucking kicked someone up in the air, and you have to like leap, double tap, and I think it's A, the grapple button. You grab them, and it does this great new power bomb where she just drives them into the fucking ground.
That's cool.
So I've been doing that a lot. But it's still the same old thing, it's not the Tekken like 18 commands to do something.
Yeah.
It's still simple. If someone punches you, all you have to do is press back, and you'll reverse them, or backing up to do high and low. It's so fucking easy. But I've got to get more into that. The only thing I am a bit worried about is it's no longer a character-based story. You get a timeline and you have to play through different characters. So you can't just start as Tina and go through.
Oh, that's a bit daft.
No, really. It's a better told story. The story's a lot more understandable. But In's not in it.
Yeah,
my character. But Hitami is, so I had a few fights as her as well. But yeah, I haven't really played too many games lately. I've just bought that today. And then we've got
your Mass Effect.
Yeah, we'll talk about Mass Effect in a minute. I've got Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. I've not played a single minute on. Still in its package. Haven't even touched it.
Keep it sealed.
I've got Devil May Cry, the trilogy, which I haven't really played too much. I'm halfway through Devil May Cry 3 on it. And I will get DMC next month.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, apparently it is good. But on Mass Effect is the first game where it's kind of like starving you for information. Like, because I've been working and doing uni work so much in the last few weeks, I've had no time to play. So I've restricted myself to 1-2 hours whenever I can.
Yeah.
So, which usually means 10 o'clock when I come in from work, or whenever I come in from work, I sit down, play a few hours on Mass Effect. And it's taken me near 2 months to clear 2 games. I'd usually clear them in fucking a week at most.
Or a day if you could.
But it's really like starving, because then it's like an achievement at the end of it. Like, fuck me. It took me that long to clear that, but I fucking did it.
Yeah.
Now with the Mass Effect series, it's fucking awesome. It's one of the newer series that I can just say it's great. The first game was terrible. Didn't like the first game at all. Too dull.
Right.
It was, as I've told you before, the Final Fantasy 12 syndrome.
Yeah.
Too big.
Yeah. That's what you mean.
Yeah. The whole thing about what we just mentioned there was I hate open world. I know you love. I love open world, but I hate when it's vast. Like Final Fantasy 12, I remember the story I always tell is half an hour to find shops, and then half an hour to get back. Then you have to cross a desert, which took you an hour, and there was no fucking thing to get you back, so you have to walk back across the desert, which took you an hour, which really pissed me off. I hate that type of game where it's just dragged out. But with Mass Effect 2, they introduced the transits and shit like that, where you could just go
quick travel
instantly. Quick travel.
Well, we played Skyrim.
Yeah, I love Skyrim.
Like they have their fast travel, but like when you're doing a mission, it says, "Oh, you got to go to the mountain somewhere." It literally is like a fucking half an hour walk or run. It's like Jesus Christ. And so I know what you mean there.
Yeah, I just fucking hate it. And Mass Effect 1 was very much like that. But with Mass Effect 2, there's one thing we'll go into is characters, character relationships, and endings.
Oh, God.
We can go through them in a minute. But with Mass Effect 2, it was the first time I've ever played, like, how would you classify it? You know, like a Fallout, a Skyrim, a game where you create your own character.
Yeah.
Where it's the only time where I've ever created my own character, and the character wasn't me. You know, I didn't see that character as being me.
Right,
I saw it as a fully developed character in that world, which I chose their direction. I didn't say I'm in Fallout and I'm doing a decision. I'd base it on me.
Well, like, what would I do?
I'm like, what would she do?
Right,
or what would he do? It's not my character. It's the only game that's ever done that. Hence, the only game like that where I've ever chose a male companion for that character. Which was fucking insane, because I got halfway through my second playthrough of Mass Effect 2 before I got through. And I was like, alright, I'm playing as a girl, because I played as a dude at first, which went horribly wrong, everyone died. And I'm like, playing as a girl, oh shit, you can't pick a girl, so who do I pick? And then I end up picking Garrus, and...
You can't pick a girl? Oh, you can't
have a relationship with a woman, or you can have a meaningless affair, which I didn't want.
Right, I see.
But it ended up being, when I picked Garrus, it was like, shit, that was really good. That made the game for me, that little fucking interaction between them, and then made me want to play free. And it was the first time where I saw that character as, you know, completely different to my choices and what I wanted. Yeah. I was thinking, alright, what would she do here? Alright, she'd do that. What would I do here? I'd do something completely different. Because as you know, with all them games, it's shoot first and kill everyone. For me. Yeah, so characters in gaming. You were your MMORPGs, a lot of the characters are you.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll make a character that's not me, but that's just to purely dick about. I'm like, I'll make me, what would I do? I'll make a character, I'm like, yeah, he's a fucking badass ranger who can kill everyone, he's a fucking knob or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you're not connected to that character though. Yeah. So I always delete that one. But
that's the thing I expect was that was the first character that I was connected to, which had nothing to do with me pissing about trying to be that character on the game. I was completely connected to Shepard, thinking that's a real character. That's not just some idiot I fucking created.
What else? You said character relations, did you?
Yeah, that relationship thing. I'm not sure how much you really too asked about that, because Mass Effect brought a new spin on it. Because looking back at my history in gaming, I'm not one for romance in games, but when I think about it, my favourite game is Final Fantasy VIII.
Right, yeah.
Look at the cover, you know. So I'm just thinking back at like relationship inter characters, but not just between obviously the loving couple, but like the friends and all that. Mass Effect brought it home for me.
For me, one of the most noticeable was in Half-Life 2. It was like episode 2. Like the first Half-Life games, you had a guy called Eli, and he's like a scientist. And in Half-Life 2, you meet his daughter, and you're with her for episode 1. And then episode 2 comes, and in that he fucking dies, the dad. But it's like a brutal scene where it's like three, you, her, and her dad, and you're all captured by this fucking big monster thing, and then he fucking picks her dad up in front of you, and fucking puts its fucking tongue in his head and blows his head up in front of her. And I was sat there going, fucking hell, he's dead! Yeah. But I don't know how to get connected to stuff like that. And
I think like me, you're very disconnected, but
I'm like, yeah, fuck that, fuck it, you like to...
That's kind of the worst thing as well, because it's like, obviously you like professional wrestling now, like I do.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing with wrestling is, I never consider myself what's called a smart mark. I don't go, I know everything, I know all the backstage stuff, which I know about a lot of the shit that goes on, and I know the difference between all the shit, but the problem with smart marks in wrestling is the same with gaming. Like, us two in gaming, we are fucking smart marks, we know everything. We're the easiest to shock.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, the whole thing with CM Punk's pipe bomb. You are not telling me that speech wasn't written by fucking Triple H, because it was.
You never know.
No, only because that's all the complaints that Triple H and Vince had always had levied against him. And the easiest way to shock us is have someone agree with us and CM Punk was the guy. But we are as gamers, we're the shock. Mass Effect had the same thing. The end of my first playthrough, I didn't know I had to upgrade the ship's armour. It wasn't like, blatantly in your face, you have to do this. It was just like a side thing. So I thought, fuck it, I'm not wasting my money. I'd rather buy weapons in preparation for the last fight. And in the cutscenes leading up to the last battle, boom, character dead. Bang, character dead. Oh, they're dead. You get off the ship for the final battle. There's 4 of you left. So even just fixing like the shielding or a gun at one point will save a character before the end. But it was it was heart-wrenching because I was watching some of the characters I didn't like, they died. But one of my favourite characters that was the first to go. And then I saw Garrus, who's the best character in it, die in a very horrific way. We run away from, they're called swarms, these little things that fucking tear you to pieces.
Yeah.
And we run away, and you get through the door, and you're like, we're safe. And then you just see him being dragged off and picked apart. Like, no, you fucking screaming. Because I'm like, because of all the people I always kept alive, it's the same with Mass Effect 3. It was, obviously, like my character. It was Shepard, Garrus, and I like Mordelin as well, the alien doctor. They're the 3 I wanted to keep alive. And Jack was cool. And all of them, other than Mordelin and Shepard, died in the second game on my first playthrough.
Right.
It was me, this one I really don't care about, and the doctor. And I'm like, everyone's dead.
You're like, fuck's sake.
I'm starting again. And that's when I started as a woman.
And you started, like, taking note of shit.
Yeah, actually looking around, what the fuck am I going to do? What am I going to do with it?
Let's say then, one of the best things I've seen in the game, with the calculations, was Final Fantasy X. And it's Tidus, one of his moves. And it's whatever person you've got the best relationship with, they throw the ball to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so fucking cool. You don't see a lot of that in games.
Also, as you notice, it's that like, it kind of started in Final Fantasy VII, just to give you a brief history of it. You had the epic and legendary date scene, which is whichever girl you talk to and like the most and been nicest to you go on a date with. But obviously there's also, if you like Barrett a lot and don't talk to the girls, you'll go on a buddy's night out with Barrett.
Oh, that's cool.
That's where it started from. And it was, with 7 it changed the game a lot. So say, I'm a Tifa guy, I'm not an Aerith guy. And if I'm really nice to Tifa, by the end of the game it's more implied that they're a couple and in love and all this. But if you're for Aerith, she's more of a friend. So that's why there's such a split between Final Fantasy VII fans to Tifa and Aerith. Because the games are quite different when you play them in different ways.
Right, that's good, that.
It's a really cool thing, and then you have the fans' argument. But it's been settled. It's Tifa. Fuck years off.
But when I play games, I'm not seeing if they count into that. Like, what's it usually play more towards?
That's probably why I like Mass Effect quite a bit, because it was like, alright, I'm going to go for that character and see what happens. And it does change the game. It changes cutscenes and changes your perspective of that character. And with Final Fantasy X had the best one because it does literally change cutscenes. Like there's certain points at the game where, say, obviously if it was me when I was friends with Lulu would just pop up and go, "You alright? How you doing?" Shit like that, and it's really cool. But most people get either Yuna or Auron. I have to be awkward. I got Lulu.
So what else is to talk about? We won't do endings yet.
Not endings yet. We'll save the ending for the end logically.
Yeah. So after character relations.
Alright, we've done character... Well, with relations, obviously, you've got, like, the buddy relations, like the fucking best friend angle, which is kind of Army of Two. Gears of War had that relationship between Dom and Phoenix, whatever the hell his name is. But for me, I really go for the characters first, and then the gameplay. So I'm a much more story-driven person.
Yeah, okay.
What are you? Go on.
I don't know. I think I'm more gameplay, but... Like I said about like them games, just said they're really good 2-player games. Yeah. So I think it makes it different playing with a friend. Like me and you, we played Army of Two, and we played Gears of War, and we always play the same characters. So it's like, you're always Dom or whatever. It's like it's not just like a character friend. It's like who's your fucking friend because you're sat next to him playing. I like that kind of idea.
That's one thing why I've said we should get back into it for one reason is when you're playing online, fair enough, but there's a difference when you sat next to someone playing a game.
It's like we used to play like Halo and stuff.
Yeah. Oh god, I used to try and run you over in the water.
Both sat there with the Xbox each. That was really fun.
That was great. But yeah, it's that type of thing, playing together as opposed to playing on your own. look at all my friends. When you sat next to someone, it's a lot more fun.
It's like, look at my physical friend.
Yeah, I've got one friend here. But yeah, with, like, say we had Lord of the Rings, I love the way we fell into the trope of, like, fucking... I was always Legolas in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
and you were always Aragorn. And then when we went in the wrestling games, I was always the power fucking...
And I was always the luchador, yeah.
Yeah. We had these little roles for each other, and we always used to do that. I was always trying to be an archer in games like Lord of the Rings, and then we had the power stuff, and then in fucking Gears of War, I was always the guy who'd run out of cover trying to fucking blow things up.
And it always, like, carries on every game. It's like, you was always the brute, which is I was always, like, trying to be, like, a smart character or, like, a defensive character.
Yeah, it also worked really well, because even though I was a brute being a daft fucker running at things, gave you time to pick the
exactly,
buttons. Like in Gears when I'd run out of cover.
I was like, man, we can do that, you can do that. And you're there going, ah!
Yeah, I'm just like, fucking take Team Fortress me as a fucking heavy. Because, like I said, the strategy on Gears of War was, I'll get myself near death, but he'll be able to pick off the ones that are shooting at me. It ended up not becoming, oh, he's being daft. It ended up becoming a strategy. I'll stick my head out and you see where they're shooting from.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I do miss that. And one thing I really miss is, I said the fighting games on Dead or Alive, when we do the tag team tournaments.
Oh, yeah.
You was always...
I was always the ninja kind
Hayabusa.
of people. And Hayabusa, yeah.
Hayabusa was your main one.
Yeah.
And I was always... Same again, really, swift and powerful, and I was always the brute fucking strength
Yeah,
one.
he was always the wrestler one, weren't you?
It was either Tino or In.
Yeah.
I ended up in... I think it was Dead or Alive 3 and 4, I went to In, because he was very similar, but he didn't have any grapples. He was pretty much all punches and kicks.
I was always Hayabusa or the Bruce Lee guy.
Yeah.
Got his name.
Don't even remember.
But like the fast guys and stuff, that was always me. He was always just the one to punch your head off.
And that made a good fucking combination, because then when we're in the fight, if we're fighting someone who is heavy and really slow, like you would fight a fast guy, you send me in and fucking beat him down. Well, yeah, we've got to play Dead or Alive 5 very, very soon.
Yeah, definitely. We'll go for that.
We can do that next week anyway when we've got our days off.
Yeah, cool.
And I'm going to fucking kick your ass on it.
One thing we didn't talk about is like genres.
Yeah, genres, go for it.
So, we talked a bit about adventure and fantasy with Final Fantasy, obviously.
Yeah, we've got the RPG and adventure, we've got shooters.
Well, we can talk about fighting games since you said DOA.
Yeah, DOA.
Fighting games for me, always grew up in the Tekken. Everyone fucking did, didn't they? You didn't grow up in a Tekken?
What?
You played Tekken as a kid, though.
I played Tekken, but I hated it. I even tried it again when I was older. I remember playing Tekken, then it was, I bought Tekken Dark Resurrection, and it hadn't really changed. It was still fucking very dull to play, because it was just the amount of commands to do really cool moves.
If you look at like the games at the moment, you've got the main games are like DOA, Tekken, Street Fighter. The way they stand out is that they have different control types. DOA, you have like more fast access moves.
It's easy access but very deep, while Tekken is hard access but extremely deep if you can do it.
And then you've got Street Fighter, which is like the hardest fighting game to play, which is just fucking insane. But so yeah, I played Tekken's. Then when I was with you more, I played DOAs, we killed that out. I tried to get into Street Fighter, but fuck me, that game is hard. It's all timing and learning daft shit. It's so hard to do.
Talking about fighting games, the Dragon Ball games we used to play.
Dragon Ball games, yeah.
Played them all.
Yeah. I think their control type reminded me a bit of Tekken, the way you execute moves and stuff.
It depends which one. I mean, Budokai definitely did.
But I think that got us just based on what it was. It was Dragon Ball, man.
It was fun.
So you could not play it. It was like, right, we're going to fucking blow up next.
Well, we had Budokai 3, which was the 2D cel-shaded one. Then we went into the Tenkaichis, which were awesome. Which is a 3D map kicking the shit out of each other.
I think Budokai 3 was where we had our most fun, I think.
Yeah, well, that was the one we killed out most.
I mean,
my favourite was always Tenkaichi 3, simply because it was as over the top as it always was.
Budokai 3 was like the one where I actually got good enough to like actually beat you at like the odd point. Yeah, so I remember having the matches where it's like, I attack you, you top up my hammer, I go behind you, go behind me, until we have no energy left. It's like, fuck!
And then we just power down, it's like, stalemate.
But yeah, after that you just killed the games out, so I couldn't even touch you after that, I think.
Yeah, well, there's certain times like, with certain games, I like getting to a point where I destroy people. I mean, Jimmy, who's been on this podcast before, we've been playing Dragon Ball Z together. And he's got a little prediction. He doesn't customise his characters on Raging Blast 2. And I do. I customised Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and I didn't even add too much. but I beat 5 of his characters with just that.
Jesus.
And he's like, I don't customise. Like, you better customise or that's going to keep happening.
Exactly. Because you're making your character more for your playstyle.
My playstyle in DBZ, as we go, again, my playstyle was distance, strangely enough, in DBZ.
Yeah.
I like blasting the shit out of people.
Yeah, and I was the one who ran out more, wasn't I? I was always the combo guy.
You were much better at the actual
hand-to-hand combat.
Hand-to-hand, while I was the one who'd stay back and blast shit out of you. Which hasn't really changed. I got better at the combat, but I prefer blowing the shit out of things on those games.
I remember playing it, it's like, you'd beam attack me, and run over to you. And you fuck off, and I'm like, fuck's sake, wait, stand still.
You'd never... It's weird, because in that one, I was the fast one. Yeah. I was the one who I'd teleport away instantly, and I would literally pummel people with key blasts and whatever.
So, I'd run towards her, I was like, okay, he's over there, then you're gone, then he's fucking beaming it in the back of the head, so I was like, what's going on? But yeah,
they're really fun. We played Naruto for a bit as well.
Yeah, let's say that. Again, you was also distance in that. You play a lot of, what's he called? Kakashi and Itachi you played as well.
Itachi was good.
I didn't play it that much, but...
No, the problem with, especially the Ultimate Ninja Storm series, is it didn't have DBZ's health bars. You only ever had 2 health bars, and the fights were a minute long. Right. You could never increase health to the point where, like in Dragon Ball Z at one point, we could easily have 10-minute matches. Yeah. We'd need no time limit because we'd kick the limit out of 10 minutes. Naruto, the most you can probably go up to is maybe 3-4 minutes, so they're way too slow. And it's the same with Dead or Alive, the DOA series. Even though you only have a certain amount of health bars, they can last a fucking long time. Naruto, you really can't last too long on it. I think that's why we never played it.
Yeah, but what I found Naruto was that those 2 minutes, it was just too like predefined. Like there weren't as much freedom of what you could do. I thought. Because like, you had the D-pad, you had some like 4 items and stuff. I didn't like that. Items in battle. I didn't like that. Any fighting games? Oh, one I've been watching a lot. I watch a lot of the tournaments and Marvel vs. Capcom. That game.
Oh yeah. I was going to buy it, but I'm not going to buy it. Fuck it. I'm not going to spend 30 quid just to play X23.
It looks awesome though, but like that again, that's just like Street Fighter. The amount of skill needed to like even be good at it is insane. Because I'm surprised I haven't got it because they have like Nemesis and Chris and stuff.
They have Jill. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has released Jill, and I've always said I'd get it, but I played it. I know how bad it is.
It's insane. But I wish I had got into like competitive fighting games, but I just hadn't had the patience.
Well, the closest we ever got was DOA. I think we'd still be a competitive tag team in it.
It's been a few years though, DOA. I've got DOAs here somewhere, but I've not played them. Yeah,
DOA 3 and 4 we played, and then we'll be playing 5, so watch out for us. We're going to kick the shit out of some people.
If people still play it.
Next week, watch out. We're going to fuck some people up.
What do I go on to now?
Whatever you want. We talked about fighting games. And we've talked about RPGs, Final Fantasy, Mass Effect, and all of those.
Shooters, I suppose.
Shooters, Shooters, I was quite a late bloomer at, as you know. I never was... The only time I played shooters was when I was with you. And the shooter that got me into playing console versions was Rainbow Six Vegas.
Alright, yeah.
That was the one that got me into playing them. Because we're talking about first-person shooters anyway.
Alright, okay.
We'll talk about third in a minute.
But, for me, it was always, when I was a lot younger, I played the Counter-Strikes. God, I killed them out there on PC.
Great, man. They were hard as well. They were actually hard shooters.
Well, it's very simple to play, but some of the players online were just insane.
It isn't like Modern Warfare. If I shoot at you and hit you, you are dying. You're not going like, oh shit, I'll just wait for my screen to clear.
But, I got really good at Counter-Strike when I was younger, but then I stopped playing it and just not got back into it. It's still going out, just released a new one recently as well.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Other shooters. Team Fortress 2. I didn't like Team Fortress 2 because I thought it's such a stupid gimmick now. Divisional was the better one. Trying to think, any of you got?
There's some Modern Warfares, obviously.
Call of Duty games have been class as games to me.
I
really don't like them.
I played Modern Warfare 2 and World at War, and I enjoyed them both, but I kind of got the fact that are people stupid now, or do people just want the same thing repackaged every year?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I played Modern Warfare 2 story. I enjoyed it, but
I know I played the story and the co-op on it. The co-op's fun, but how can you spend hours and hours on it? Why not try building a character on an RPG for the amount of hours you play fucking thingy? You'd be on the leaderboards of fucking...
Different people, though. That's what it is. But with Call of Duty, like you said, it's just... Okay, we've made a new map. Right, it's a new game, that. It's like, what are you doing? I don't like the company, and I don't like the community, because I think the community is dicks. But they're just like, Call of Duty's the best game. No, it's not the best game. It's an okay gun simulator.
Yeah. Which hasn't changed since like 2005.
No, you can't blame them though. It's like, if you're gonna get money,
yeah, fair
release
enough.
it.
It's a fucking money spin-off.
Good marketing, but
I just hope it goes away, Guitar Hero.
What, die?
They get to a point where they can't fucking sell it anymore.
Well, they said they were stopping this last one, but they're doing another one, aren't they?
How many folks stopping?
There's too much money in it at the moment. It's one of the biggest franchises at the moment.
Yeah, we've got Modern Warfare. Let's go on to... Wait, is Halo first person?
Yeah.
Halo's not.
Halo are good games. I liked Halo.
I like the first two.
Yeah.
The third one was boring.
The first one was my
I haven't
favourite.
played 4 yet.
No, I've not played 4. I played the first one and the second one. I didn't like the second one. I never actually played 3.
I played 3.
But I played ODST, which was, I think you don't play as a chief, you play as a totally different character. And that was a cool idea. Like, explain as different marines, explain as different, like, worlds and stuff.
There is one good one coming out. I'm not sure if it's good, but it looks good. Aliens Colonial Marines.
Hey?
Have you not seen it?
No.
It's the story of what happened to... Do you remember Aliens?
Yeah.
Remember their ship, the Sulaco?
Yeah.
This game takes place after that film and is officially endorsed by James Cameron and Ridley Scott as a sequel.
Right.
So we're getting a sequel to the films as a game. And it's what happened after Aliens.
Alright.
And it looks fucking cool.
I haven't heard about that.
I'll show you the trailer. Yeah, you play as Colonial Marines, obviously. And you're on the Sulaco, the ship from Aliens. And shit happens. A load of fucking aliens pop out of everywhere. It's really cool.
Right.
And it's one of them games as well, it doesn't lie to you. Every trailer has that little sign, actual in-game footage.
Right, yeah.
Which is fucking cracking. But I'll show you if you don't know too much about it. It does look
Yeah,
good.
sure.
It's got the heart sensor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That scares the shit out of me,
That's
as you
cool.
know.
Other first-person shooters, fair games, they were good.
Yeah, I played the first. I think I played the second one.
They were too scary for me to play though, so don't know much about them.
I'm trying to think, there's not many first-person shooters that I really bother with. Third-person, on the other hand, we've got the Resident Evil series, obviously. Yeah. They're all fucking amazing. Except for 6. 6 was a letdown.
I liked 6. I liked the gameplay until you got to that point where you said, that's it, there's no more zombies now. Did you stupid enemies?
That was one chapter.
Yeah, that got me.
The one thing about Resident Evil 6 was, people say, oh, they tried to make free games, and I'm like, no, they didn't. They just tried to fucking make the campaign so long. Like, each campaign was about 80, they said was 8% as long as a campaign from 5, which is kind of right, but I don't want to be playing it for that fucking long. And especially when you're padding out with car chases and bike chases and shit that goes on for 2 hours. That was a problem with it for me. And the story was fucking dull. It wasn't a Resident Evil story in a way, but the way it was done, there was no Resident Evil. And it's like Resident Evil 5. Wesker's there, we've got to kill him. That was a basic story. And a side story with Jill. Perfect. This was like, oh, we're going to tell you the story in bits like we've seen, like an episode of 24. It's like, we'll tell you bits here, we'll tell you bits there. Right. And then you put the story together yourself. And I'm like, I don't want to put it together myself. Because you haven't explained it very well. I still don't know all the little bits that go on in it because it was way too convoluted. I mean, Resident Evil is usually convoluted, but they just take the fucking biscuit with 6.
Right.
And the gameplay wasn't as good. It was nowhere near as good as 5. Third person, we've got Gears, which we've mentioned.
Gears
was awesome.
When it came out, it was good, but not touched
nothing hard. I tried playing it a few years back, and it is quite hard. The Gears, and then I'm trying to think of a third person. We've got obviously Fallout. That's classed as a third person shooter.
Yeah, Fallout was good.
Fallout was cool.
That's one of the games I've like every now I touch onto it, trying to get into it. And I actually got into it at one point. And I played it for hours, but I don't know where the fuck I was going. So I don't play the story. I'm like, okay, we'll go over there and see what's over there and play that. So I ended up
Fallout's really good for that type of, oh fuck it, I just want to have a wander and see what I can find.
Open world, that's what I love.
Fallout's great. I think of third-person shooters, there's got to be...
There's fucking loads. Mass Effect is
Dead Space.
Oh, Dead Space was good. The first one was good, I love that.
I played the first one, I've seen bits of the second and played it.
The third one's out soon, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not really going to do too much with that.
Yeah, Dead Space was kind of funny because everyone's like, oh, it's a space horror. It didn't scare me, even though I don't like horrors, but it was just like a really cool action game.
Yeah. The one thing is that type of... Did you ever play Dead Island?
Oh, God, yeah.
Did you see the trailer for Dead Island?
I think...
The little girl and she flies up from
that, yeah.
That is... It's kind of the same with Dead Space. That is the worst case of marketing, because I thought I was going to get a very emotional zombie game, and what I got was Dead Rising repackaged on an island.
Exactly.
And it's like, what the fuck was that trailer about? And they've done the same. There's Dead Island Riptide.
Yeah, this new
They've done like a trailer exactly the same as the last one. Again, but if it's anything like Dead Island, I'm not going to fucking buy it.
Yeah.
But Dead Space was the same. It had that really eerie twinkle, twinkle little star to all the corpses and that. And that was cool, but it wasn't as scary as it could have been. I don't think 2 was either.
I know what you mean. Okay, other game. Third-person shooter.
Third person's, I'm not too sure, there's quite a few.
I can't really think there's none that I played recently.
There's none that jump out at me now. Mass Effect. That's a third person shooter.
Yeah. No, I think that's it.
Alright, that's it.
Move on.
Well, there's plenty of shit we could go into, but let's go for endings. The best. We'll go to endings, and then we'll do like a little countdown of games you should try and play. Alright, endings.
Well, you can start because I've not seen many endings.
I've seen the end of World of Warcraft. Have you not seen it? My old video.
The end of World of Warcraft?
Yeah. You not seen it?
No.
I'll get it up. It's me with a hammer with a disc.
Oh, God.
Fuck off. That's the end of it.
It's ended World of Warcraft.
I hope it fucking
Everyone
does.
hates it. No.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not, like I said, I'm a guy who wants to see an end. I want to start a story, get invested in a story, and see the end, just like films.
Yeah.
Same with music. When you listen to an album from beginning to end, you want to get invested in an overarching story, depending on who you listen to.
Well, look at films. Lord of the Rings. You watch that to the end. Then what do you think?
What do I think?
What do you think of the end of it? Because to me, I'm like, oh, I want to see fucking more.
Yeah.
I want to see him grow up and like fight more people. But it's like, oh, that's it now. I can't watch anymore.
You got The Hobbit.
But yeah, but The Hobbit's totally different now.
Yeah. But when I like seeing the end of it, because the one thing I don't get, we'll do the Star Wars debate, right? People who hate the prequels are idiots. Because it's the same with a game. Say, a lot of people don't like Final Fantasy 13. How is that going to ruin your love for, say, Final Fantasy 7? Like you said, you want more of it.
Yeah.
But more of it might spoil it for you. So, that's the good thing about film. That's the weird thing about films is people love the first 3 Star Wars, the original trilogy, but then they say, "Oh, they're gonna ruin it by making more."
Yeah.
And the one thing I don't get about that little contradiction is that how can things that are made later affect those original 3s and the experience? Because they're always there. It's the answer to your question. I don't want more and see more because it's always there. I'll always be able to go back and watch it and play it, and nothing that's released after it will ever alter my opinion on, say, a film or. Because I enjoy it.
But you wouldn't want anything more new.
Oh, I wouldn't mind any. I would. There's some people who wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Like with the Star Wars debate. Oh, 7, 8 and 9 are gonna kill it. If you just like 3 of them, go watch your fucking 3 of them. I'll watch more. If they release Lord of the Rings 7, 8, fucking 4, 5 and 6, which they probably could with Tolkien's library.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd watch it. And I don't care. I don't care about them ruining it, because now it's going to affect us. Like, my favourite film series is Aliens. Right? The last 2 were, 4 was okay, 3 was damn right terrible. Doesn't mean Aliens still isn't my favourite film in the world. It just means some dickhead got hold of the film at the 3rd one and ruined that film.
Well, that's what the Star Wars thing's about, because it's Disney now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they can't find a director for it or anything.
No one wants to do it.
No one wants to touch it because they think they're going to spoil it.
It's art. How can someone go to you and say, you did that wrong? It's like, how can you go to George Lucas? You did episode 1, 2 and 3 wrong. It's his expression of art. How can you say you did it wrong? It's kind of like, I'm being quite hypocritical here because I have criticised the ending of Mass Effect 3. But if I was the creators at BioWare, I wouldn't release the extended edition of it because that was their ending. We're not people who we shouldn't be allowed to edit someone's vision.
Right, yeah.
Like, say you tell a story and I got you that ending shit, change it.
Exactly.
I can't tell you to change. Fuck all.
Exactly. It's like saying, here's the ending, and like you as a player go, that ending's wrong. They go, well, no, we made it, so this is the ending.
One thing I do like about the extended cut, though, is that it was supposed to be in it. You can tell. What the only thing about the Mass Effect 3 ending is now I've seen it extended, I realise now there was bits of it that were disjointed. Like your crew disappears at one point and it's just completely oversight. And they had that scene in where your team goes and what happens in between. And that's what I liked about it because they should have been in there anyway. But yeah, it's that whole thing of do you want to see more?
Yeah.
And I do. Personally, I want to see more Shepard in Mass Effect. I want to see Mass Effect 4 with Shepard and see where it goes from there. But they're not doing it. But then again, I've always got 2 and 3. Other endings, I'm trying to think. Final Fantasy X had one of the best endings in gaming.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was an amazing ending.
It's one I've seen many times. God, I'm trying to think. Well, like I said, for me, I've not seen many endings. It's more.
I'm a guy who likes his downer endings. I like it when people.
Oh God, you like the crying endings?
I like that. Oh shit. Yeah, I do. I like the dying endings. Like
the Ares one. Where you're like, fuck yeah!
I was out of a pint. I'm fucking 7 years old. No, I like darker endings that make sense. I don't like endings that just slaughter everyone.
Right, okay.
Randomly.
Well, he's died. It's like, but why have they killed him off?
It's like with Mass Effect 2. I kind of was like, shit, they're all dead. And I didn't realise till later it was my fault that died.
Oh, right, I see. Yeah.
So when I was first viewing that, I'm like, this is shit. Everyone's like, oh shit, it was my own fault, they're dead. But it's like when you get to an end of the game and they kill characters off randomly.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, that isn't right. Kind of like the last Harry Potter film. When last Harry Potter book, you die. It's like she had a pen and a marker.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Go. But they weren't, I do like me darker endings. But Fallout didn't really have an ending. Well, it had an original ending, you died, and then they released the add-on pack where you don't.
Right, okay.
Final Fantasy has some of the best. 7 actually has one of the worst endings in gaming.
7? The one that everyone's like, oh, the best.
Yeah, it just ends.
It just ends.
There's no resolution at the end of the storyline. No meteor coming down. You see Holy attacking meteor, and that's it. You get a flash of everyone's faces, and then it ends. You don't know if the Earth was destroyed.
That a cliffhanger ending?
Yeah.
Or like a what if, so you make your own ending?
I think they were going for that vague, we'll let you decide. Also, they released Advent Children later because everyone's moaning about it. That's got a really good ending. It's quite confusing, but really nice and cool, Final Fantasy 8. Final Fantasy 13 is a really interesting one. Because the first game ended quite resolutely. That's it, that's the end. And then it's kind of how do I say it? 13.2 said, oh no, that didn't happen. This did. It reconned the ending.
Right.
Because at the end of 13, Lightning's all happy she saved everyone. And then 13 goes, oh, that scene didn't happen. She actually got sucked into a hole in the floor and has gone now. Literally. That's not what I remember. Well, 13 had a great ending because it had the... I'm trying to think about what word this. Have you ever had a game where the main character who is like on the box and all the adverts isn't actually the main character?
Well, they're not portrayed as the main character in game, or do you mean you as a player don't do that?
No, the player you mainly control, obviously, and in terms of a story aspect, they're not the main character at all. I've only got one example. 13. Lightning is hailed, like we've got Lightning Returns, the third game they're doing, and she's portrayed as this big. She's the heroine. She's everything. She's not the heroine in 13. She's not the hero of it. Fang is, if anything, one of the other characters in the game. Because when I was going through the story, Lightning does very little, and it has very little impact on the story. But Fang and Vanille, they're the two main characters. It's like, fuck me. Why spend all this time investing it in Lightning when she's quite dull? She's like a female version of Cloud without the attitude. It's like, these two characters are a lot more interesting. It's really strange because at the start of 13, they're trying to say it's going to be a female version of Cloud, basically. Really tough.
Yeah.
soldier. Well, she is a soldier, and she's not going to care about anything. But in essence, it killed the character because I don't give two fucks about lightning. The only reason I'm playing 13 is because I want to see what happens to Fang and Vanille. I want to save them. It's fucking. I've never seen it in a game where the protagonist that they're trying to shove down your throat, you come out from the game thinking they weren't the hero of it.
That's what you mean. That's a strange move, that.
Yeah, it's very weird because if I was doing Final Fantasy, it'd be Vanille and Fang on the cover, not Lightning. Because Lightning has the attributes of one of the characters that you just pick up on the on the quest. So it's kind of like they had one idea and said, "Oh, let's bring her in," but she doesn't quite fit. Kind of like Sheva in Resident Evil 5. Doesn't really fit the game.
Is it like putting like Walker on the cover of 10? Would you say? It's just a companion.
Yeah, it's like not a companion. Obviously, the playable.
Like Auron, because Auron gets a lot of screen time.
Auron, it'd be like Auron's the main character. You're like, no, it's Tyler and Yuna actually. Yeah. It's like that. It's like they had the characters. They've got all the characters, but they just didn't pick the right ones to represent it.
Right.
And you can see that in game. Like you have a lot of cutscenes with Lightning, where it's like, I don't really give two fucks about this. Literally, I'm sat there like, I can't care. Where's Fang? Because Fang's not in the game for the first 3 chapters, and that's how fucking insane it is. She's not in the game for the first 3 chapters, but as soon as she gets into the game makes a lot more sense.
Right. Yeah. Other endings.
Ooh. Mass Effect has 2 great endings. Make sure you download the extended cut, the 3rd one.
Yeah, I do need to play them games.
I like those. I think you like them as well. Consequence endings. Whether you're doing the game affects what happens at the end.
I
love
okay.
them.
What, do you get like a decision at the end of the game?
Not at the end of the game, like say...
It's like the Fable, whatever you go as you go along.
Yeah.
Right, that's good.
Like in Mass Effect, obviously, I didn't fix me fucking drive shaft or whatever the fuck it was on my ship.
So you fucked over your ending.
And someone died in the end. I like that. I like consequence to actions.
Right. Because, like I said, Far Cry 3 when that ends, that's basically A or B. I don't like that in a game.
No.
I prefer just like, so I start again, you've done this, that's it. You can't fucking, you've done that. Live with what you've done till the end.
That's, we'll go back to Mass Effect, because Mass Effect's probably the best for it. I've never cleared 1, but obviously decisions you make in 1 affect 2. Decisions you make in 2 affect 3. Like, 1, your romance carries on from 2.
What if you load the save?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's certain really big ones, like in Mass Effect 3, for example, you get a choice. There's this thing that's happened to a race called the Krogans, called the Genophage. It means no new Krogan babies can be born.
Right.
And one of the choices in the game is, do you save the Krogan, let them have children and everything, and have them all on your side, or do you pretend to save them, to have them on the side in the war, and also get another race of aliens involved by sabotaging it? Right. That's one of the choices. And they're really fucking hair-raising choices, especially in 3, because you're like one of them was, there's this alien race in 1, which you destroy. They're called the Ragnar, I think. You have a choice in 1 to kill them or not. And if you kill them, in 3 you have impure Ragnar that come up, and you can choose to save them or let them fight on your side. So I thought, that's cool, I'm getting an alien. Fucking attacked half me men.
That's cool.
It's great.
So from what you did number 1, screwed you over number 3.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Shit like that. A little bits like that, but there's also really, really heartbreaking choices. Like there's one in 3 where you have Tali out of number 1, who was a companion in the first game, and Legion, who's an android called a Geth. And in the 3rd game, it makes you choose between their races, but it doesn't outright say if you choose one, the other's gonna die. I didn't know, because what happens is her race and the Geth have been in war forever. And they're kind of at this fucking, epic final battle. And I can choose to help the Geth and get more... The old basis of the story is Earth's being invaded and I need an army.
Right.
So, I've got the Geth on one side, androids, fucking, lunatics. And I've got Tali's race, who you've known her from Mass Effect 1, you've known her since Mass Effect 2. And whatever I do, whoever I pick, their race dies.
Fucking hell.
I didn't know it, because it's never implied, but it just happened like... Alright, I'll pick the Geth, because the Geth want peace. Why are they firing?
But yet your friend since the first game.
Yeah.
You just screwed over.
I wasn't really too fussed about her. I liked...
right, yeah, okay.
He's called Legion, I like Legion.
But if you was a player you loved this character in the first game,
yeah,
you just fucked
It's
it
also
up.
that thing as well, carrying on from games, like there's a character called Thane in Mass Effect. And he he's dying anyway. He's dying from the second game.
Right.
He does die in 3. It's not a spoiler. It's said as soon as you meet him, he's dying. But there's a little bit of a scare where an assassin stabs him. You're like, shit, he's gonna die. But all it did was speed up his death. And it's one of those cases in games where I'm gonna find that fucker and I'm gonna kill him. And I haven't had that in a long time. I'm gonna fucking kill you. So in the final fight, I'm there fucking running up to him, fucking not using my bullets, just shunting him. Well, it's a great little... Mass Effect's really good for getting the emotion flowing and the oh fucking god moments when you're like, alright, so if I were to change that, I'd have to go all the way back to that game.
That's good.
And it's also good for variety as well. Talking about end of games, I lost one character at the end of Mass Effect 2, Miranda. But I could go back to Mass Effect 2, save her, get all the characters alive, and she'd be alive in Mass Effect 3 and have some part to play in the story.
Right.
Or I could let everyone die other than who I need to be alive for me to survive, and then play the game with everyone dead.
That gives the whole series a massive replay value then, doesn't it?
Actually, I'm replaying it. I'm going to go through... I think I'm going to do 3 again and change some of my decisions, and then I'm going to try and go through ones... It's a combat more than anything that annoys me. You don't have bullets, you kind of have like wisps of energy. And as you're shooting, it's like... It's really hard to aim. It's bullshit. You don't have reloads, it eats into your shields as you shoot. The more you shoot, your shield goes down.
Right, okay.
It's not good. It's not good. Other endings before we finish?
Well, for me, like I said, I'm more of like a guy who likes stuff to end, so...
Yeah.
Like...
He cries.
That's why
he cries when he gets a blue screen of death. That's the end of his game.
End of my life. But, so like Minecraft and Gary's Mod, MMOs, because you don't get an end, but you get patches and new stuff.
Yeah. That's always a bonus, so
there's always something new, and whatever's new, it doesn't like destroy the whole game, unless it's World of Warcraft. It is, but
the pandas.
The pandas and the last one, yeah. I was going to say then. What was I going to say? Screw me up.
Whoa!
But yeah, I don't like endings, so that's why I've not played too many games, because I get way too attached to the game.
Yeah.
But I think that's all for me in terms of endings.
Well, we'll do this. Favourite games.
Top 5, top 10.
Just throw out favourites. Like I've always said, my top would be console based. It would be Resident Evil 5. Heavy Rain, Final Fantasy 8, and to be honest, just about any Final Fantasy, other than 12, 3, 4 and 5. They're all good. Mass Effect has jumped onto my list. And Metal Gear Solid Guns of the Patriots.
Nice. Well, for me, top 1, Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
PC.
Still want to do that. Still want to play it.
Yeah. Number 2... I'm trying to think now. Not actually sure.
Come on.
Well, one I played for many years was called, an online game called RuneScape. Jesus Christ.
Oh God,
that game's old, yeah. That game's dying now. I played that for about 7 years non-stop. Jesus Christ. I never actually got to top level either. Next game after that, I'm trying to think, man. Games I didn't play a lot when younger.
Final Fantasy.
Oh God, Final Fantasy 10, yeah. I played that game so many times. I never actually cleared it until Jay was with me, because I couldn't get through it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And Jay's like a map, everything.
Final Fantasy 7, 8, 10 and 10-2, I've got the knowledge, as long with most of the Resident Evils.
Yeah. Fourth favourite game. I'll stick World of Warcraft on it, because that was a game that I did get quite attached to at one point.
Quite attached? He was literally living off a drip.
Yeah, I was like in the fucking world for that. And lastly...
And the pandas.
Lastly, I'd probably say right now it's Minecraft. Because you can just do whatever the hell I want. I can jump in, I can spend 10 hours making a fort and some fucking machines, and I'll just live and walk about. But yeah.
Oh well, he's been his top 5.
That's pretty much for me.
And for this episode of FRACKiT, we'll leave him, but next week, me and Andrew will be doing the second part of our comics episode.
Yeah.
As he starts reading them.
Yeah, I should be finished in a few days.
Alright, so it's goodbye from
Rektolisk.
And frack off from me.